Good evening, listeners, viewers, wherever you are this evening. Welcome to Bridge Radio Africa, Ashford, Garley Live. This is Bridge Radio, Bridge TV Africa, and this is the co-host Volcano Shelton. I'm with you here this evening, coming your way from Monrovia, Liberia. I'm telling you, listen, it's about midnight here in the West African nation, which makes it about 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. I want to welcome all of you, our viewers, those of you in Australia, in Asia, in Europe, anywhere outside of Monrovia. We say welcome, welcome to this great, great broadcast. The show Ashford Garley Live is making headways, and where better place can it be? Is right here on Bridge Radio and Bridge TV Africa. Again, this is the co-host Volcano Shelton with you here tonight. And whatever the occasion is, you're celebrating your birthday, we say welcome to the show. If there's an anniversary going on, something we don't know about, welcome. I don't know if I can ask you to pick up, pop some popcorn tonight, like Ashford says, because I'm on the other side of the world. But one thing I can say, those of you in America, go right ahead, do that. Grab your popcorn, grab something to drink, and let's together discuss another important issue. Again, I always say that what this platform is about is to enlighten. We're not here to, always talk political issues, but of course, when we come to discuss some of these things, they turn into politics because the Liberian man loves his politics. And we appreciate it if all of you can call in tonight. Tonight going to be a great opportunity for you to discuss with us the things that we're talking about every day regarding Liberia and what we're hoping to improve in our country. We want to thank Top FM in Zwedru Grangita County, Joy FM, and Live FM. We say thank you so much here in Liberia for carrying our broadcast. You're doing a great job. I've gone in places here around the city and people are talking about the Ashford Garley Live show and also Bridge Radio, Bridge TV Africa. And so it means that we are, making headways, not just in the diaspora, but also here in Liberia because of some of the affiliate radio stations that are carrying our broadcast. So again, we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to say welcome Alvin Perry, Sylvester Constance, Raymond S. Clark, One Saw Tower, and Abu Dunzo. All of you guys out there, I believe, around the world, can't put my hand on everybody to say that you're in the U.S. I know for sure Raymond is out there in Dallas, Texas. Good evening to Ashford, the Giant Garley, wherever you are tonight. I say welcome. I hope you're listening. I'm sure that at some point you'll be back here on the show. We're very, very confident that things going to improve with this platform. And so I just want to say thank you so much for everything you're doing behind the scene to get us to another level. Again, I don't want you to forget that we some time ago launched a membership drive asking you, our viewers, to participate in this lofty cause to help us, generate some form of income to stabilize our platform. These things cost, and of course, it's very, very costly. And we said that our fund drive had to do with $10 a month. And a lot of you did make promise to contribute to a membership, a yearly membership, and which would be about 120 bucks. But we don't know what's trending regarding this, and so we'll follow up with the administration. But this is more just to reawaken and remind you folks of the commitment you've made. Again, we say thank you so much. But tonight, I thought to look at something very, very important. Last Wednesday, we talked about pimping boys in Liberia. And we talked about the pros and cons, but especially many of the things that we talked about that night. I had Moses Sandy with me. We were looking at the positive, which of course it helps to alleviate, uh, the transportation issues in the country. But also there was a lot of things that we don't think that is in place to ensure the safety and not just of the pimping boys, but also those who are riding along with them. But tonight we're going to be looking at the erection of entertainment centers. And again, I continue to say that we're here to enlighten. We look at the things in the society that we think need some kind of attention. And so the erection of entertainment center is something that is going on in the country, and it's been going on for a while, but this is becoming unbearable. Every corner you turn, every corner, there's an entertainment center. The one we call, in the Liberian way, drinking spot. Drinking spot. You know what drinking spot is, right? Somebody that opened a small booth. They put a boom box there, making loud noise. Bring some chairs. Somebody grilling on the roast. They're grilling the roasted fish, the roasted chicken. Somebody frying the plantain. Everybody come there. The government officials and the cars line up, and people drinking. And this impedes sometimes the ability to function. To be honest with you, some of the people leave work 2 o'clock. They don't go back. They stay to the entertainment center and enjoy themselves. So just tonight, I was driving around the city. I'm telling you, it's Friday night. Everywhere is stacked. Cars, the traffic. The funny thing is, these people open this entertainment center, and there is no parking space. So the folks come and park on the road. We already don't have roads. So you got 2 lane road, one going, one coming, and then all of a sudden, cars are lined. And amazingly, all right, we had an intermission. Okay. So quickly, let me just make sure that we're back on the air. Thomas Awaji, you're there. And if you're watching the broadcast, please let me know that we're back on the air. Um, just confirm. you know, you know, LEC. Are we back on the air? Can you confirm, Thomas Awaji? I know that you're there. Just confirm with a yes. All right. So I guess he hasn't picked up what I'm saying, but anyhow, we're here. We're back, and I would, just quickly go to my colleague, Mr. Moses D. Sandy, who I have asked to come and join me tonight to bring him right into studios. Mr. Sandy, I hope we don't have power failure again. But,
I
man,
say, my man,
they,
in
I
Africa.
tell you, man, the people say they're giving electricity everywhere, but then we still having power outage. But anyway, so I see you freezing. I hope you can get stabilized.
Okay.
But as I was saying, Moses,
Hmm.
this is the situation right now. Entertainment center, drinking spots, bars, nightclubs. These are the things that are competing with our educational system. Because when you think about all of these young people who are going to these entertainment places to hang out and have fun, they don't give a crap about the classroom. Moses?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening to you. Uh,
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They don't give a crap about the classroom.
yeah.
So you can see the competing priorities here. People want to have fun, people want to chill, people want to enjoy themselves.
Hmm.
And again, like I said, I just drove, around the town, and I'm telling you, cars are parked along the road. And I'm seeing SUVs, some brand new. Man, listen, these people, I don't know where they're taking the money from. But every day they say no money in the country.
Uh, Volcano, what you just spoke about, it's a serious problem. And we have to look at it from both perspectives. Uh, Unfortunately, and this is not unique to Liberia. In most of our countries where there's problem of extreme unemployment, people will set up structures just to survive. And I think that is what we're tuning in Monrovia today. People are doing everything possible to keep life going. However, the implications of having drinking spots all over the country, that just fuel the problem of substance use in Liberia. When you do drug and alcohol counseling, and I happen to be a clinical social worker, one of the things I do on a regular basis is talking to drug addicts, talking to individuals struggling with mental health challenges as well. In drug and alcohol counseling, we often talk about triggers, meaning people, places, and things. So, if, for example, like the guys refer to in Monrovia as the Zogos, meaning the drug addicts, individuals who are hooked on substances, who allow substance to drive their lives. Uh, when you have drinking spots all over the city, then accessibility becomes wow, very easy. I can just walk across the street. I'm sitting in a drinking spot. I'm getting high. I'm drinking to the point that somebody will have to literally, take me home. That's what we call binge drinking. When you drink without limitation, when you allow alcohol to take control of your life, you are considered a binge drinker. So the cost of alcohol, I'm sure, is a little bit cheaper for most of these people, so they can turn anywhere. So the proliferation that you're talking about, yeah, is a significant factor. It's a contributing factor to the problem of addiction in Liberia, and that is not good. Yeah,
But
from
Moses,
yeah.
oh, okay. I thought you were done. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, the point I was trying to make quickly is that what I'm beginning to hear from you, or what I've heard from you, seems to suggest that alcoholism or substance use has more like become a culture, a way of life. Everybody go, the man goes to work, he goes for lunch break, he doesn't come back to the office anymore. You have students leaving the classroom and going to the nearest liquor shop. So it's more like something normal, a routine, as you will say, a way of life. Let me stop there.
But interestingly, you said that because you think the alcohol is cheap. It's not
Mhm.
cheap, Moses.
Okay.
And interestingly, I did my quick survey. I mean, a bottle of Guinness now is about $300, almost in some places. A bottle of beer is about 350 and upwards. They have the teen shower and breezo, the one the females say they like. So all of these things, the prices are going up. And interestingly, people are still getting drunk. So
Yeah.
where is this money coming from? That's what people don't seem to understand. I'm telling you, tonight is Friday. Imagine tomorrow. And they don't stop even on Sunday. No,
Hmm.
no regards, no regards. So somebody said that's why, the people don't take us seriously. It doesn't seem as though anything is wrong with us. We don't need help. If we, if some of the cars you see parked along the side of the road, I'm telling you, Moses, you'll be wondering where the guys taking the money from to buy such, you know, big time cars. I'm
Thousand.
telling you, I'm talking about real good cars.
Yeah.
And interestingly, everybody cries, no money.
Yeah.
So the people can afford the alcohol. They can afford it.
So let me provide a little bit of education here. What is driving this is what we call craving in drug and alcohol counseling. Craving is a strong desire or wanting to do something. It's like somebody who is hungry. Volcano, when you're hungry, it doesn't matter how much a plate of rice will cost you. You want to eat, you want to survive. If a plate of rice is going to cost you $20 just to survive, you will pay the $20 for that. That's the problem with people who are binge drinkers struggle with. When it's time to drink alcohol, it doesn't cost how much, whether it costs $50, $100, or whatever, they're going to find that money. If the person will even break into someone's home and steal the money and go drink alcohol, the person will do that because it is something that affects the person um, physical health. It's a strong will. So when that desire comes, when the time comes to satisfy that desire, this person is going to do it. If a woman were even engaged in prostitution just to drink or to use a substance, that woman will do it. Um, People sell their properties. They do anything they can to satisfy. So now with the easy accessibility of alcohol or drugs on our market in Liberia, most people are using substances. And what? There is a relationship between addiction and crime rate. If you check today, if you check with the police for Canada, if you check with the police in Monrovia, they're going to tell you that the crime rate in the country is extremely high because well, we got a lot of people who are using substances. And substances is not unique to only what drugs. It includes alcohol and drugs, the pills, the marijuana, the heroin, the crack, cocaine, the opioids, which in the United States here we call fentanyl, morphine, Vicodin, and all of those. You guys will go looking for it. The alcohol, they will go looking for it. A woman will sleep with five men just to get drunk. A man will do anything, even he's going to take money belonging to other people just to go to the club and drink. The man will do that. So you see how these things are affecting our country in a negative way. I know people are trying to survive, people are trying to make living, but I think there got to be some level of regulation in terms of who goes to these places. You cannot have underage drinking. Do we have any laws in Liberia regarding underage drinking? For Canada?
Yes, yes, yes. Because I know when I was growing up, you had to be 18 to drink.
But are the laws being enforced?
Absolute, no, not enforced, but the laws are on the books. Those laws have always been on the books. Like I said, we have all of the laws because our country is borrowed, has rather
Hmm.
borrowed everything from America.
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of fine tuning here and there.
Yeah.
So we have the same laws, and I believe it was 21, not even 18,
Yeah.
21 years old,
Yeah. In
you
the
know, to have
United States,
access to
or
alcohol
yeah.
or smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And those things were on the books when we were growing up. Um, but it's unfortunate now that today is not something that being followed. If it's there, it's not being implemented. But and someone I was in a conversation with today prior to this topic, and they
Okay.
said that a lot of time we go to those places to take our trauma away. Some of us go there, we don't have money, but somebody gonna offer us. Say,
Yeah.
fine, get you sitting there, man. You can't take one bottle of beer. Then I find get torn out 10 or something, and sometimes you lucky you get your little full money and you go home. You know. So but these are the kinds of things
Man,
that
begging man, please,
the
man.
folks gotta deal with.
I
Come
forgot.
again.
I said, man, I beg you, man. You got me cracking real hard.
No, seriously. I mean, listen, prior to these shows, I try to do my homework. I try to have some open discussions about what the
Yeah.
intention is and how it's going to come across.
Mhm.
So, but no, the lady was very clear. She said, listen, a lot of people are traumatized in this country. A lot of people are struggling from
Mhm.
ends, trying to make ends meet. And
Yeah.
so oftentimes when people go to the entertainment center, they just go to pass time, sometimes listen to music. Sometimes they go, hoping
Enjoy.
that they will be offered.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's a place where sometimes
People
conversation
think.
sparks,
Yeah.
and some of the conversation can be political, it can be of any
Social
kind.
as well. Yeah.
And but I think the problem here is that there is no control. Moses, you
Hmm.
cannot sleep at night.
Wow.
It is so hard to sleep at night, especially if you find yourself
Hmm.
within a vicinity where there are many entertainment centers, and they're like one after the other, one after the other, until the music played are being they're competing against each other. You can't even understand whose music you're listening to, because
Okay.
everybody playing loud music. And like man, by loud music, but even in America, police
Yeah.
got to come down and shut down the loud
Shut
music.
it
So
down. Yeah.
these people have no control over how much volume to put out there. They're just gonna blast. They're
So
just
let
gonna
me ask.
blast. And everywhere you turn, you find the young people that's standing all on the outside trying to hustle. Oh, let me wash your car. As soon as you get it, they're trying to run to you. And a lot of them, this is how they survive. And
Exactly.
the very government officials go to these places and they sit there
Hmm.
and it looks normal to them. I'm
Oh
telling you,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of RL cars.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of RL cars along
Hmm.
the road with
Hmm.
at these entertainment center. And so I'm wondering, at what point the government officials really take the job seriously, where they shouldn't be out here in the public, and if they do these things, they want to do it in private.
Of course. I agree. Again,
So they're not taking it seriously
no, they're not.
because
And
nobody cares.
at their places of work, their supervisors themselves don't even monitor them. No. So I know I can remember when I was in the newsroom at LVS, there were guys that would come to work almost when it's time to go home. I mean, how will you leave home? Don't show up to the office, and you come in about 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're signing yourself. And sometimes we used to take those issues up with the assistant director general for news and public affairs, but we had limited authority, in preventing that. So when you don't have supervision, in the work environment, people do whatever they do, and nobody is really tracking. It diminishes productivity, but that's
Mhm.
what we have. That's the kind of society we have. Now let's look at something here which is very important. The lady you spoke to, or the individuals that you spoke to, did tell you that hey, most of us here we go to these places to cope with our trauma. Volcano, those people
Yeah.
were absolutely right. They were absolutely right. Most people would. uh, drink alcohol, and specifically binge drinkers, people who drink without limitation, people who use drugs, who are addicted to drugs. They use these substances as coping mechanism. Because what happens is that when someone is under the influence of a substance, the person does not recognize his or her problem. Take, for example, if you have a gentleman who has been unemployed for the past 10 months, when that man is under the influence of alcohol, he's sitting in a social gathering, he does not recognize that he's unemployed. The only time a man
Hmm.
recognizes that he's unemployed when he gets home the next morning, he gets sober, he comes to his senses, then he recognizes that, oh, there's no food here for the family today. Then he recognizes that, oh, I have not paid rent for this place for the past 2 months. Then the realities begin to set in. What does he do? To enable him put that stressors away, what he does, he goes right back again to the club and drink more alcohol. And when you do that on a consistent basis, you get hooked. It's the same thing with
Hmm.
drugs. A lot of people use drugs as coping mechanism. Take for example, if you have a woman that was raped at age 10 and she experienced that trauma, whenever she uses a substance, that helps to take what that a traumatic feeling away. It helps this woman to cope temporarily. She want to get to recognize that she's dealing with a significant trauma when the substance goes. So whenever the substance is beginning to diminish in the body, the person is going to go through what we call withdrawals. Withdrawal itself comes with severe pains. It comes with headache. It comes with diarrhea. It's like hangover, a hangover. So not wanting to deal with that, then what do? They continue to drink the alcohol. They continue to use the substances. So those who tell you that here, this is what we do for coping mechanism, they are absolutely right. You may have a wife who is dealing with a serious marital problem. Once she goes to the club, she's okay. She comes back home, then she recognizes that, hey, I'm going through a serious problem here with this man. We just can't get along. What does she do? The next day again, she goes back to the club. That's the problem. You
All
see?
right, Moses, we at the intermission. Our first intermission here is 8:30 US time and
Hmm.
12:30 a.m. now in Liberia.
Yeah.
You're watching the Ashford Garley live show here on British Radio, British TV Africa. Will come your way via YouTube and Facebook.
Hmm.
I'm the co-host of the program. Volcano Shelton is my name, and our host Ashford will be joining us at some point soon. Moses Sandy is filling in tonight as our continued colleague who's helping us to keep the platform alive. Um, Tonight's discussion is on the erection of entertainment centers all over the country, particularly here in the Monrovia area, Montserrat County. Everywhere you turn, there's loud noise. The drinking spots continue to pop up with no regulations. They are next to each other, and people say, well, if your drink's cold, then probably you get more customers. If you want to keep your drink warm, then it's on you. You also got to have the roasted fish. You got to have the roasted meat. You got to have something going and make sure the drinks are cool and loud music. Disturb the neighbors.
Definitely.
So if you just joining us, we want to welcome you, Jack Mersh, Thomas Awaji, John Wade. You guys are doing well tonight, joining us all the way from across the world. Bolu Howard, Mami Moore, Joshua Pugh. Um, let me see who else here tonight. Siada Tengbe, welcome. Varney All Outland, welcome. Um, Mohammed Kamara, Clarence Stiller, Maplanikia, Musu Fambule Snyder, Welcome, welcome, and welcome, Phoebe Warite and Abu Dunzo to the show tonight. Was not Towel, and of course Raymond S. Clark. We say welcome to all you folks. The line now is open. We encourage you to call 404-272-2808, and that should be done via WhatsApp, not a regular US call. You have to
Mhm.
do it through WhatsApp,
Yeah.
404-272-2808. But if you're in Liberia, then you can call us on 0778 170 905. I've already posted the numbers, so you have the opportunity to begin calling. Moses, so yeah, so some of the
Yeah.
things that we have to deal with is
Mhm.
what it is. And of course, they're not building these things in the decent way. It's another thing. Somebody come, they put 2 4 blocks down, they put pegs up and they zing it, and the entertainment, voila. And maybe they put the drinks a little cheaper than the regular guys. If it's $10 cheaper, then they get more people. So that's why it's uncontrollable, and no
Yeah.
one cares.
Yeah.
Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Public Works. None of these. I mean, listen. When you come to Liberia, it's like the country runs itself.
Wow.
The people run themselves.
No one's in
That's
control.
what it looks like. Nobody cares. Nobody.
No,
Nobody.
no,
I mean,
no
people
one.
just do what they want to do.
Yeah, it's sad because the question I was just about to ask you, it been a while now, and so sometimes when I speak on these issues, someone will say, "Oh, well, you're speaking from the perspective of a Western world." The question I would like to ask: Do we have zoning laws in Monrovia or Liberia as a whole? And if we do,
Yes,
are
Moses,
these laws
we
being
do.
enforced? Are the laws
We
being
do.
enforced? Because if we
No,
have
not
zoning
not. Now it could be selective. It could be selective. Most of
okay,
the things that happen in this country
yeah,
is on a selective basis. So
okay,
yes, there's zoning laws.
hmm,
Ministry of Public Works are supposed to enforce what they
yeah,
want, because in the states there are areas for entertainment,
right.
there are areas for businesses,
Residents and
and
all,
you can't just put everything together.
mhm.
In a residential setting, you got 200 entertainment centers, and they just boom, boom, boom all night.
Yeah, you can't.
Um,
Yeah,
Another thing that also disturb are the churches. They're
okay.
right next door too. They're having tarry, they're having it all night. But the entertainment center
Yes,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
reason why we're talking here tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are zoning laws, but they're not being enforced.
So the problem, yeah, no one is enforcing the laws, and let's look at the implications of this whole problem of having liquor shops all over the place, drinking spots all over the place, ghettos all over the place. And let's take out the level of the family. Let's say, well, Moses Sandy is an alcoholic. And by Liberian standard, Moses Sandy spends $10 a day, right? So if Mr. Sandy is
Mhm.
spending $10 every day going to the club to get drunk, it means that in the month, Moses Sandy, in the month with 31 days, it means that Moses Sandy is spending what, $310 a month. And now Moses Sandy is a police officer. He earns what? Maybe 150 US dollars a month. So before the month comes to an end, or at the end of the month, Moses Sandy has spent $310 in the period, but his entire paycheck is $150. Moses Sandy is going to be in the red by what? $160. That's the deficit. Now, when that happens, how is Mr. Sandy going to be able to pay his rent? How is he going to provide food for his family?
I
So,
mean, the man will talk to the landlord. The first thing the man will say, "But gee, nothing going on right now at proper time. So, I can't afford the rent. What are you gonna do?
you know,
You can't."
yes, McKenna. So when you look at this problem, you have to look at how does it affect the lives of the individuals themselves and other people who are connected with them. Take for example, like Mr. Sandy was spending $310 in a month that contains 31 days. And this guy brings home $150. He's already in the red by $160. So it means that Mr. Sandy cannot sustain his habit. He cannot sustain himself. He will not be able to care for his family. Then he begin to what? Steal. Mr. Sandy was a police officer will for no reason pull over taxi driver because why he's so desperate to get money. He will do everything he can. So if we were to flip this coin around and say, well, instead of this person being a male, this person is a female who is spending $310, she earns $150 monthly. Where do you expect her to get $160 from? She will definitely prostitute. She will do everything possible to make sure that she gets the $160 extra to sustain a habit. That's the downside of what addiction. Addiction affects the life of people in a negative way. Instead of going up, it brings your life down. It affects everything. You may not be able to buy food for yourself. You may not be able to buy food for your children. And in Monrovia, I heard you say some of the people pay what, $150, right, for a bottle of Guinness. So if we do that hypothetically,
No, Guinness is two hundred and change.
okay, let's say
Beer beer going to what, $400 now.
okay, so let's say the beer you are spending approximately $3 US, right? If we put it at that
Moses,
hypothetically, yeah.
Moses, when
Hmm.
you go to an entertainment center, you gotta have money.
Okay,
Simple, plain
so you
simple.
so you see that where
So,
are you going to get the money from? You see
well,
the
I mean, my man, that's why the corruption can finish in the country. Because as the man corrupts, he's trying to make sure he get beer money too.
you're trying to
Apart from
support the
all the
house,
things, beer money gotta be constant.
of course. So you see how that's why we say addiction is costly. It's a costly habit. It's difficult sustaining that. So if this guy, let's assume that this guy is a tax collector and he has to spend $10 every day, or he has to spend $5 US every day. His entire monthly payment is $50 US, but he has to spend $5 US every day getting drunk. Do the math. Let's say a month that has 30 days, the guy has to spend what? $150. He takes
So
home
five
50
US
US
dollars,
dollars.
$5 US today is eight
Yeah.
hundred and sixty dollars.
Okay. So
So
I,
that two large beer, put it right there. Depending on where you're going, two
and,
large beer, you can squeeze in one. You can probably squeeze in one Guinness, depending
mhm.
on where you buy.
So
So
yeah. So the man goes home. The wife said, "Oh well, we don't have food yet today. What happened?" He gets angry. He gets into what? Verbal or physical altercation with the wife. He does
hmm
not attend to the needs of his children because why? He's drinking all his money. And this is where government has to come in. When we look at this, let's provide some suggestion. There should be zoning laws. The zoning laws should be enforced. Government has to put some regulations in place. We cannot allow our young people to go to entertainment places when classes are in session. Even on the weekends, there should be some regulation. You cannot have, a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old going to an entertainment place to buy alcohol. Like in the United States, yeah, the required age for purchasing alcohol is what, 21. In Liberia, I don't know. But whatever the laws are, these laws they need to enforce these laws because why? You are dealing with people, you are dealing with young people. The future of these people cannot be compromised because people want to survive. And I do understand people have to survive, people have to do what they got to do to put food on the table. But let's look at the future of these young people. I'm sure if you were to do a survey at these entertainment places, Mr. Shelton, you and I would agree that a greater percentage of people who show up to these places are what, young people. Am I right?
yeah. So I want to encourage callers to call in tonight. I just posted something here from Orlando Chenoweth, and
Mm-hmm.
he says here, "Hey guys, this situation is not only unique to Liberia, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also Ghana, the Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone, and
Yeah,
as well as other African countries. They all have the same problems, and of course we know that.
we
But I
did.
think the frequency and the way at how entertainment centers are just popping up everywhere, every corner, every place, or in the neighborhoods or in the communities.
Yeah,
I don't think that's cool. And secondly, they continue to make our main streets and highways scanty and ugly.
yeah,
Ugly, I'm telling you. And when they throw these things all over the place, it just creates a congestion also by itself because, as I said, they don't have parking spaces, and people want to make, they want to get drunk. They park their cars along the road, and one tire on the road, one tire is hanging, and so that in itself kind of make the road small. Then you got pimping men all over the place, so it's
yeah,
just a non-stop nonsense.
yeah.
So I will hope that Orlando can call in and tell me what does he know about the situation in Ghana, in Ivory Coast, and in Sierra Leone. You know, and of course, I would say Sierra Leone and Liberia will be comparable in terms of the number of entertainment centers. Not sure about Ghana now, and not sure about the Ivory Coast. Those countries now beginning to be stable. They're going back to the pre-war status.
Mm-hmm.
But I would believe that Liberia and Sierra Leone would be synonymous. Um, Another person says that there is no liquor license.
Uh,
She meant to say liquor
license
license in Liberia. So in America, you got to have license to sell
to
alcohol.
be licensed to
In
sell.
Liberia, I doubt it. So imagine how much money could be generated. Again, we talked about the pimping
Mhm.
yesterday
Yeah.
or on Wednesday, and
Mhm.
we talked about if they were giving
Being
them
targeted.
license plate
Yeah, yeah,
and it's showing that they were insured, then of course that can be income generation. Today, there's
for the,
no liquor license. I would think so because otherwise, every Tom, Dick, and Harry wouldn't be selling alcohol. you
absolutely.
know so that's another thing that the government of Liberia is losing money on. Now I heard something about they raise taxes to
From
help
what?
fund this free education in college. They
Mm-hmm.
raise taxes on alcohol,
From the sale
right?
of
You're aware of that?
yeah. That's I think the bill because the free education bill only passed in the House. The Senate has not concurred, but I did see something about some income that will be generated from the sale of alcohol. It has
Hmm.
not taken effect yet because the bill has not been acted in the law. It only
Hmm.
passed the House and it has to be uh, concurred with by the Senate. But one thing I wanted to talk about of Volcano is that the progressive sale of alcohol all over Monrovia, it really affects the country in a negative way. It also contributes to the number of accidents in the country. I'm sure we agree on this because when
Hmm.
people are under the influence of alcohol and driving, do you know the risks it poses to other drivers and pedestrians? I know a lot of people have died. A lot of people have run into other people's properties. People have
Hmm.
damaged other people's vehicles because they live in these entertainment places under the influence. Our police officers don't even check for DUIs. Again, when I talk about this issue, somebody says, oh, well, he's speaking from a Western perspective. But I'm not sure if the police officers in Monrovia are really checking whether someone is under the influence or not. Do they? Do they check?
Yes.
They pull over,
Yeah.
drivers and say, well, you just can't drive?
Yeah, but even if the police himself drunk while standing there and staggering at the checkpoint or by the roadside, how can you hold somebody accountable? So that's another thing. The man already charged. He charged. After the man get a first hustle, he go in the back there, take his
Yeah,
two things, get charged, then he coming to deal with the driver there on the road. Because the man gotta start his morning first.
Yeah,
you take that lunch, I mean, alcohol break, you go,
yeah,
you get charged, you come out on the road and you see him directing. So,
yeah.
I, Liberia is the strangest place on this earth. And I
Okay.
say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what's wrong with us, and what can we do to get out of this? Because
Mm-hmm.
at one point we were a normal society. We're a very normal society. Today we're
Yeah,
very abnormal. Abnormal. And I'm
yeah,
telling you, it's just I was driving today
yeah,
and this guy parked double parked on the Robertsfield Highway. I was heading into the suburb of Boston, Marshall Road area.
yeah,
And right at what we call Duazon, it is another, that intersection is crazy, Moses. If you don't drive with care, people
yeah.
running all across the street, kids and all of that. So it's a very, very dangerous place. But then there was a car already, because
Mm-hmm.
the shoulders, again, as I said, the shoulders are so high from the ground of the
Yeah,
road. So
yeah,
many of the cars are not high, so they're
yeah,
not able to, yeah, come off the asphalt down
yeah.
to the shoulders.
Photo,
So a
right?
lot of these cars are struggling. So this car parked, and you know how some of the cameramen don't care whether the passenger stop them wherever that where
Yeah,
they'll stop.
you will
So
stop
he
right
stops,
there.
but then he's in an L shape. So
Yeah.
he's partly in the oncoming lane.
Hmm.
And so I'm trying to go around him, and I ask
Hmm.
him, I said, why would you do this? Can you not just park
Yeah.
straight? The first word that came out of his mouth was the F you.
Oh my
And
God.
they're quick to cut you up. They're never wrong. Nobody's wrong in Liberia. This generation and the people here,
Hmm.
nobody wrong. They're quick to cuss you up. They will cuss the crap out of you, even when you are telling them what is right. And that's what he did.
Very
That's
sad
what he did.
situation.
So that's the kind of situation to deal with. So when you talk about, how alcoholism kind of impair our
Yeah,
functionalities,
yeah.
the
Hmm.
ability for us to
Hmm.
have our executive function works well,
Hmm.
that's what happening. Because many of the guys who are driving, they're
Yeah.
already finished taking the alcohol break. They go
Hmm.
and drink, take some of the money they running, they go get drunk. Then they come to the car owner and say, the day the police
Yeah.
hold me, or yeah, I was in the traffic was too much,
And the
and
man
then start.
talking to you, you can smell the alcohol on his breath.
Yeah, but he gave me excuses why he didn't,
He said,
bring your
Chief,
money, your day
Chief,
money.
it won't be easier today. Oh.
Yeah,
The man was saying, Chief, it wasn't easier today.
yeah, they couldn't get excuse. So I
Yeah.
mean, so that's the situation. So again, I would think that if not just the liquor license, but if we
Mhm.
can also have, these entertainment places pay some very good, lofty tax,
Mhm.
since they have to, sell alcohol and make profits. Maybe it will kind of shape up how much of them can open,
Our,
to put some very stringent laws down, or regulations, or policies that will hold their foot to the fire.
I,
And then probably we can have some dwindling. But again, everywhere, somebody cooler you see sitting outside the sidewalk,
we
don't
get
overload that
everything
cooler,
job.
chilling. And somebody would just come and say, what a cold beer.
Yeah,
And
take it.
I mean, the thing is just come on, man. Everywhere you turn, Moses, everywhere you turn,
I
it's
mean,
too much.
yeah,
And they don't. What hurts me is that they will put it even in a decent neighborhood. They
yeah,
will put it. They will stick it somewhere in the alley. No,
yeah.
oh yeah, people just live in the alley. People just build in the alley. They don't care.
Because
Nobody. I mean,
nobody,
nobody cares.
yeah, the laws are not being enforced. And in a society where the laws are not enforced, people become laws unto themselves. And from what I'm hearing, it seems to suggest that that's what happening in Liberia, the culture of impunity. I mean, like what you were saying, you just say, hey, sir, don't you think it would have been better if you had parked better? And the first thing that came from this guy to you was profanity, in which you were just
Hmm.
being nice. You were just being nice. You were taking precaution for him. He said, look, this is not right for you. It's not even right for the passengers in the vehicle. And he just misinterpreted the whole thing and he went on using all the F words on you. So when you don't hold people accountable, these are the kind of things that will happen. Nobody,
and it's sad. It's sad, you know.
Mhm.
Um, Come to think about it,
Yeah,
we're not getting better. We're not getting better. Every day we regress by these things. If we cannot have regulations and control over all of the things that are happening,
mhm,
of course we can continue to say that the people need to live. Yes, they need to live, but there's a way to live, and that things must be done right.
right.
But everyone just do what they want to do is not helping.
It's
And
not.
every day that's the problem. So one thing leads to the next. One thing leads to the next. The
Mhm.
next thing let me tell you something, Moses. I have It's not about this country and the bad. I
Yeah.
think the bad is always the good.
Okay.
In every aspect of the word, bad and good.
Mhm.
There are more things that need fixing
Yeah.
than things that we have functioning well. And
Okay.
because we have so many things out of character, so many things out of control, so many bad things, we
Yeah.
can't even see the little good ones
Mhm.
that we still have since our civil war.
Mhm. And you know why?
But I'm afraid that we don't have people who care.
That
It's, it's what it is. People just don't care.
yeah. I agree with you 100%. But everything boils down to what I just told you earlier. In a society where the laws of the country are not enforced, where people are not held accountable for their actions, people become what law unto themselves. And what we're saying here is not unique to the we administration. It is an age-old problem. Our people cherry pick. You know, Volcano Shelton and Moses Sandy were working in the same newsroom, and the news schedules. The work schedule for the newsroom is that everybody should be there 8 o'clock in the morning. Volcano will report to work 8 in the morning. Moses Sandy will come 9:30. But because Moses Sandy is a friend of the Assistant Director General for News, the Assistant Director doesn't say anything. When Volcano shows up 8:30, then he calls Volcano in, oh well, and my man, you don't come to work on time. But hey, have you forgotten that Moses Sandy comes here 9 o'clock every day and you don't say anything? So when you have laws, you got to enforce the laws regardless of who is involved. And that's our greatest problem. Even like the liquor stores we're talking about, yeah, the places where they are selling alcohol, they are selling drugs. We have officers from the Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA. When they go to certain entertainment places or when they go to certain ghettos, you have higher ups in government that will call and say, hey, my man, that's my sister. But that should not be the case. If your sister is supplying drugs, is engaged in acts that undermine, the peace and stability of the country, that is breaking the laws of the country, it should not be about your sister. It should be about the good of the country. But it doesn't happen like that. A DO officer will show you and someone calls it as my sister, and that sister is allowed to go with impunity. Someone shows up to Volcano Shelton's place because Volcano doesn't have anyone in government, they come clamping down on you. They will do everything they can to make sure that they bring you down to your knees. That should not be the case. The laws should be the laws, regardless of what is involved. There should be controls. I should not be
Yeah,
in
you're
bed
right.
worrying. I should not be in bed and worrying that hey, there's a nightclub right behind my house that is preventing me to get a rest. That shouldn't be happening. There should be some level of control where you can erect nightclubs, where you cannot erect nightclubs, how late you can stay open, When you play music, the loudness, all these things need to be controlled because people have the right to live in peace and harmony. But
Yep.
we don't.
Yeah. So quickly, I want some of you guys to call in tonight, please. Call in, weigh in. The number to call is 404-272-2808, and that's by WhatsApp. And if you're in Liberia, you can call 0778-170-905. Whoa, okay, okay.
This person was just waiting for you, man.
I have a caller here from a 8455 number. Caller, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Volcano Orlando.
Moses, can you hear the caller?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, yeah, Volcano, that is Orlando calling from Springfield, PA.
Okay,
Orlando,
welcome.
Chinowe.
Yeah, Orlando, welcome to the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I wanted you because your comment was it happens in most of the African countries. But let's just talk about Liberia particularly. Entertainment center everywhere.
Yeah, you see, my assertion of the whole other African country didn't mean that, I was trying to deviate from the problem in Liberia. What happened is that, the entertainment business, you have to look at it from different angle and other perspective. People have to survive. And the easiest business to start in Liberia is pretty much the entertainment industry. Anybody can get a cooler with few bottles, you have a business right there. You can have a container and put few chairs around it. You have a whole business operating, and you put a grill next to it and put few fish and chicken wings and sausages on it. You got things going. So with that mentality, it's easier. And another thing you have to look at also is that we Liberians are copycat. So long one person doing something and it turned out good, everybody begin to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
If you look at woolen, for example, right? There used to be few African market, but because it started going well for few people, and the entire Woolen Avenue is covered with African stores. Everybody doing the same thing. Even here, all right, in the US, people started opening drinking spot in the basement. You remember, I think it was in the 90s, in the late 90s or the early 2000s when one Liberian died in the fire in the basement because of some entertainment issue.
Yeah, that was a while in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
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 so
right in Philadelphia. Okay, so it was the same entertainment issues because it's easy to open, it's easy to maintain, it has a low overhead. So that's one of the things that attract people to it. But in Liberia, there's no other industry for people to go into. The informal industry is the only way for people to survive.
mm-hmm.
And another thing you need to also look at while you're in Liberia, intersections. How many kids they're selling?
You mean kids in the streets?
Yeah.
Oh
In
yeah, oh yeah,
the street
oh yeah,
vendors.
yeah, oh yeah. No, no. I mean, listen, Orlando, just give me probably 15 seconds. I'm looking at the things that think that we need to talk about. Again, this is not about the CDC government. This is not about President Weah. Moses, I'm
There's
coming.
a
No, I'm
kind of
coming. I'm
government
coming. No,
issue.
no. Hold on.
Yeah.
Moses, myself, the Breach Radio Africa family, we all know that these are issues that have existed over time, and then it has become even unbearable since our civil war ended. And we thought that 12 years of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and close to 4 years of President Weah, things will have improved. But it seems as though we're regressing every day. And that's what we're talking about, some of these things. So I just wanted to clarify that. So yes, that's one of the other things that on our agenda to talk about this the street peddlers, the street merchants, especially the little boys, kids selling bread, running through cars with cold water. It's dangerous, and they should be in school.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's another issue, but we got to tackle them piece by piece. So I want to thank you, man, Orlando, for calling in, and we'll take leave of you. We have
Thank
another
you.
caller from 2540. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm doing keep welcome. China.
You calling from where?
Well,
Pipeline.
thank you. Yeah.
And you say your name is Joseph?
Yeah, Jota and Kekula.
Yeah, Joseph, I'm sure you're following the discussion. Could you lower your monitor? I can hear feedback just a little bit.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, it's still that loud. All right.
Wait, me. Yeah, I get me.
Okay. Yeah, fine. All right. So you've been following the topic. We're talking about entertainment centers all over the country, especially here in Montserrat County. You went to Margibi, you went to Buchanan. Everybody is an owner of an entertainment center in your community, right next door to your home. You barely can sleep. What's your
Yeah,
contribution?
my yeah, my contribution to the issue is that in Liberia, as your first caller was saying that everybody loves to do the same thing. Whenever they see their friend doing it, when they succeed, they always let them engage in such things. But what government need to do is that they need to put strong measure into place to curtail some of these things. Because not only entertainment you can go to and make money, they have provision shop. They have provision that can be able to do and make and get money. But like this, majority of them, they're not thinking how this country will be developed, but they only engage in supporting the youth of this country. Majority of them they see that to get money, you have to get it any kind of way. So you see some of them selling drugs, but when you sit and watch the show, you see the authority going there. Those are really get a political authority to go and make sure that no one should sell drugs in the country. When they go some of the places, you will see that they will just when they go there, you will just see when they arrest the person 1 or 2 days, you see the person coming and say the same thing again. Like they come on doors, they setting it, and most of the they just make our children useless in the society. And government sit and see things going the other way. They don't want to they don't want to arrest us. It's very pathetic. Not only dreams you can sell to survive, you can sell other things to survive. And you guys are saying about the petty traders. I think government need to put measures in the place. If people sell on the street, they should be able to clean the deck. The marketing association, they should mandate the marketing association to be able to get trucks and be able to clean the deck on a daily basis, but not on a monthly basis. When they put it there on the street, we need them for more than 2-3 months before they can come and bring one truck. When they take it, then they put their Facebook light on. Oh, we are cleaning it there. It's not supposed to be that way. The garbage system.
Joseph, I'll tell you, they,
The
you just,
garbage.
Joseph, you
Yeah.
just talked about one of our other topics. Monrovia is a filthy city and its
Yeah.
environs.
The garbage system in the country is very appalling. It's very poor because those are responsible. If it left my one, the marketing association need to be dissolved and be placed on a government for government to collect taxes from the marketing marketeers and be able to pay their worker on that area. When it just give it to a bunch of people that will just be collecting money and enriching themselves, and one of the things the transport union, the transport union should be dissolved. But those are there, they just collecting free money, eating it. In a country, you don't have no system that will make government will get more money. But one good thing from government, you think the motorcyclists, as I always told people, I said when government put system into place to collect fees from everybody before you sell, either $50, $20, $5 like US dollar or equivalent like brand dollar. Like before you open your business in the country, on the street, everywhere you should be able to pay annually certain fee that will make certain percentage go to government so that we can develop the country. We cannot depend on hand out. We say, oh, donor money, donor money. Only Liberia will be Liberia. So if people have the technocrat have to sit and strategizing how they can be able to collect the taxes from the citizen and foreigner who just come here and make business and just walk away free with the money and go. We have
Thank
to
you.
do something that
Thank
will
you,
make
Phil.
this country fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And listen, this young man talked about a lot of things, and they all tie in, Moses,
Yes.
considering, the topic here tonight.
Mhm.
If you have all the entertainment center, we even talking about what the
Yeah.
hygiene piece is,
Hygiene
because
fee.
most of the entertainment center don't even have bathroom. These
Okay.
guys will walk to only your window. Say
Oh,
your house is right there next to it. They come in a little dog, they pull out their
really?
whatever, and
Hmm.
just pee on your wall, and that area becomes filthy and stink.
Yes.
I mean, any little alley, any little corner, any little place, they just take it. So now they come to your car and pee you on the tire.
Can you imagine that?
You know,
So,
so when day breaks, right after
yes.
everyone is gone, when day breaks, you just see the pee stinging all in the area, my man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a whole different thing that these entertainment centers are doing. So no regulations, Moses, and
No regulation.
it's not helping when people say, "Oh, the people got to survive." But if the people got to survive, and we put some systems and things in
In place
place,
to help the people
then
to survive.
it keeps everybody healthy. It keeps everybody safe.
Hmm. Make sure that you put a system in place that will say, hey, no underage drinking. You just can be in a nightclub when you are not 21. Make sure that that is enforceable. Hey, my man, this is a residential community. You just cannot build a nightclub here. And make sure that that is enforced to the letter. And when police officers find you under the influence of alcohol or drug, because alcohol is a depressant. When you are under the influence, your ability to think and act rationally is impaired. So when you are pulled over, when you are under the influence, that vehicle should be towed and then give you a ticket. And make sure that the classes are so expensive to the point that people will be constrained, to pay for these classes, and that would be what extra income for the government. When someone runs, when someone gets arrested 3 times with a DUI, like in the state of Delaware, your driver license is revoked. You can do these things in Liberia. They are
But most of
enforceable.
the people driving with all license, my man, what license you gonna revoke when majority of the people don't have license and they're just
Oh yeah,
driving?
I'm sorry. I forgot to know that I'm talking about a different society.
You're talking about Liberia. The people driving with no license. And then when you and I give our license, the man can say,
Yeah.
but where you coming from? When
But
the
my
man
man,
say, where your license? I say, my license.
you didn't think I gave you a thing to ask me whether
The
it's
man
my
look at my PA license. He said, well, that wedding day as well. That we're gonna ID card. I said that's an international driver's license.
Listen,
He
my
said,
brother, why
oh,
do I know what coming from?
so
That's an
so
intense.
yeah, but again, Moses, I think we have a serious problem.
We
And
do.
again, the bads outweigh the good.
Yeah.
So many bad things going on in this
One
country.
of the bad things,
So
yeah.
many bad things. One thing to the next. And we need to work together to change this country. We need to.
Yeah.
We need the
There's
diaspora and the grounds, the people here on the grounds and the diaspora. We all need to work together because
yeah,
honestly, we're not going anywhere with all of this.
yeah.
Moses, this capital city and its surrounding is not beautiful.
Wow.
People are building decent houses, But these decent houses,
are infill.
you better can enjoy them because of the configuration of things, the way there's no zoning, there's no, I mean, the very alley to drive to your house, the people build makeshift stuff on it and they live there.
Hmm.
And so when the government comes to do these little roads, there's
Yeah.
not much they can do. And so the roads are so tight now that you don't even have sidewalks. And if a truck breaks down on the road, forget it. It's doomsday.
And so like you were saying, can you imagine when such thing happens and you are under the influence? Wouldn't that be a death trap? If a truck breaks down on the highway and you under the influence, your ability to think and act rationally is impaired. Won't you run under that truck? You will die. The others riding with you will also die. That's why there got to be what? Tougher laws on DUIs. You hold these people accountable. I know
You know, so
the economy is
someone
down.
says here that most
Yeah.
most of the houses in Liberia don't have toilets. Government is not regulating how people are building houses,
Hmm.
and that's one thing. So let me just read some of the comments here tonight.
Okay.
Bolu House says,
Hmm.
"I try not to shake men's hands in Liberia because of urination issues. They urinate everywhere and anywhere, and even that includes men coming from the U.S. Well, when we come back, we come back to the grounds.
And we
Maybe
can't.
that where you go, PB?
Yeah, man.
Michael Boo is asking for the U.S. number. It's right there. It's 404-272-2808. But you got to call by WhatsApp. All right. So another writer says here exactly where in Australia when you are a teenager and go to the liquor store to buy, you will have to show proof of identity.
Of course.
So here she's saying, or that person is saying in Australia,
Hmm.
or he or she.
That's how it should be.
Thomas Awaji says, going to Liberia, you get sense that there is no government in place. The place is totally lawless. The police only make noise behind opposition voices.
It's sad. It's sad.
You know, policemen self cannot enforce the laws. Liberia police always want his small thing to put in his pocket.
My man, if you got they got children home to eat, my man.
Yeah, the man gotta get something home. Liberia is a failed state, says a pro-poor king, because it is lawless. Country is a lawless country, rather. We are not going anywhere unless we revamp the
Yeah.
entire justice system. We need stronger laws and they too to stop the bribery. So the courts themselves, you know, they help to fuse some of the ills in society
Hmm.
because everything is about corruption, bribe, and so forth. So if even we had the laws to implement and somebody comes out and try to bypass the law and pay a little more, people get to do that, you
Of course.
know.
Hmm.
Let me take this caller quick.
So,
Is this my man, Michael Boo? Is that Michael? Hello, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, you're on the air live.
How you
Welcome.
doing?
Good, good.
Thank you very much. Uh, just hold on one second.
You're
Mr. Boo,
good. Go
how
ahead.
are
We can
you?
hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shelton and Moses D. Sandy
The
for
brother and friend,
such
Master Boo.
a brilliant topic under review. I just wanted to throw in my own experience, reference the situation in Liberia. The first thing I want to talk about is the zoning. When we were growing up back in the day, we would have the Ministry of Public Works try to monitor the construction of homes or structures.
nowadays that's non-existent in Liberia. There are high-rise buildings or structures that are being constructed, and you can see those designs are very fine, but you don't even have an escape route like the back way where you will find stairs coming down from the fourth, third, second floors, so that if there's fire, people from the fourth floor
You're talking
will be able
emergency
to come
exit, right? You're
quickly.
talking about the emergency
Yeah,
staircase.
yeah, but you have like that. Uh, the second thing is the zoning of churches. How can you build churches within the community where these newly founded salvationists they have these miracle services? Don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian, but there has to be some level of compliance with noise, you know. So there was a community that I lived in when I worked in Liberia for the last 4 years, and they had this church. These guys, they will put the speakers outside, and they will be having service all night,
The people wanted you to
and
come
forget
us.
to know
The
that
people
folks
wanted
got
you
to
to come
sleep
to the
and go to
Lord.
work.
They wanted you to come to the Lord, Michael.
Well, you got to. They say where your right ends, that where another person right begins.
Michael,
Last thing I want to talk about is the hygiene. I heard folks talking about hygiene. Uh, when the UN uh, uh, decided to go into Liberia during Madame Salif's time, one of their workshops, they decided to teach Liberians hygiene.
Hmm.
You know, we will go to the restroom. We use the restroom. We not wash our hands. We come. We want to shake hands. Man, to go. He used the side of the house. He will his urine will drip on his hand. He wipes it on his pants, and he comes out. He wants to shake hand. That's why I don't blame the guy who just wrote that. He wouldn't shake. People put their hands in their nose or they scratch their butt, and they come shake your hand. If you don't shake their hand, they think you are proud. So I mean, Liberia got a whole lot of work to do, guys. It
Yeah.
is just sad.
yeah,
So
and
so
So
so that's what
I
I
just
said. That's what I said. I mean, it's an honest statement that the bad always the good. The
absolutely.
whole country
yes,
it's just messy. It's messy, you know. But thank you,
yeah.
Michael, for
And when
calling.
you go there to
Michael,
improve it, they will say, "Oh, the man come from America. He wants to bring his American stuff." Yeah, you know what? Gentlemen, man, for God's sake. Thank you very much, guys.
yeah,
Thank you,
Michael,
Michael.
thanks for the input. Thank you so much.
So Moses, I mean, this is a very good topic. You come to think about it.
It is
Uh, we can have all these entertainment centers all over the place, and
no
the
control.
government is not generating income from them, but they're also killing the society because everyone wants to get high or have some form of uh, alcohol in the system. The way they can cope with the traumatization, the
Mm-hmm.
lack of employment, the hard
Mm-hmm.
times,
Stress
and
of
all of these
yeah,
things.
Mhm.
Um, and the ripple effect here, you have the entertainment center, they're disturbing the community, they don't
Mhm.
have the right hygiene facility to take care of the customers, there's no parking space, but then the young people who are coming in
Accident
to
rates and all of that going high.
so many
Mhm.
things, also
Yes.
so many things,
Mhm.
and this is not going anywhere if no one cares and no one takes action.
No. And these people are indirectly contributing to the growth of the Zogos population in the country, meaning the addicts. You have too many young people that are today who are Zogos because everywhere they turn to, they are ghettos, they are nightclubs. Kids are no longer
Mhm.
going to school. They go to school, call classes, and go to what? To the nightclub. They go to the bar, they go to the ghettos and sit there. No one cares. No one goes there to say, hey, you cannot sell alcohol to what? Teenagers. You cannot sell alcohol to students. No one controls that. So the people are only concerned about making money. You can be 10, you can be 12. Once you pay the money, they give you the alcohol. They don't care. But these people need to be held accountable. The laws
But
should be
adults,
prosecuting these people.
the adults are the ones sending the kids to buy alcohol.
Well,
Mother or father will say, "My man, go run down there, go to my customer and bring me two beer." The child is 7 years old. He holding two beers in his hand, two bottle of beers rather, and
yeah.
coming back with it. You know,
And you tell the 7-year-old sailor, tell the man to send me 2 bottles of beer and say when I take pay next week. I will be.
yep.
So, yeah, and these problems are also contributing what to the disintegration of families. Because if the dad is using all of his income to support a habit, that dad is not going to be in a position to care for his family. So what happened? Mom will say, "Oh well, you know what? This relationship is not working because the first law of nature is self-preservation. If you're a dad, you can care for your family. That woman is going to leave and go somewhere where
Right.
she can be able to care for herself and care for her children. So many marriages, in Liberia and relationships in Liberia today have broken or are in trouble because why? We have too many people who are spending more time in nightclubs than being at home with their respective families. So you see how inseparable the problems are? The implications are profoundly huge. That is where the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Education, and others who are involved with youth development in our country need to sit down and look at these things. What can we do to minimize this problem? And again, I do understand that the unemployment rate in the country is extremely high. But hey, we just can't allow these things to happen like that. We must have some level of control. What is the Monrovia City Corporation doing? These people, they should be able to enforce the zoning laws as well. What are they doing?
Brother, when you talk and people think you're talking because you want to bad mouth or anything, this is not about a particular person. This is
Okay.
about the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
Anyone lack of, taking uh what's the word? Um putting into action something,
Hmm.
for the positive, the lack of that person who is solely responsible, for instance, a minister or
Yeah.
his deputy or his chief lieutenant, if those people are not doing what they're supposed to do, of course, it impacts the greater society.
Of course it
But
does.
again, you cannot talk about fixing things and not talk about the government in the conversation,
No,
or the
you can't.
government taking the initiative to do what it has to do.
Hmm.
You understand me? We
Yeah.
can't continue to say that, oh, our people got to survive. So the people going to survive, that you have 3 million people in the small vicinity of Montserrat County,
Hmm.
more than 3 million people, you know, strap here. How do you how can people survive so crunched like that when you
Yeah.
don't have the facilities in place?
Hmm. Yeah.
Everywhere, all along the road now. There's a whole nother topic again, my brother. Let me just throw it in there because it's gonna come. The garages, the people, these
Yeah.
garages, they just bring the old buses from everywhere,
And just
all
put
kinds
it on
of
the
crap,
street.
and they just put it all along the road, just make the place ugly.
No,
And I'm
that
not gonna call it specific tribe, but people know who let to do mechanic job. So I mean, they just throw all these things along the road.
again it comes
School
back.
buses where they don't have parts for. trucks,
and they're just sitting there.
all get through all water, bro. That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah,
So the place just look danger, ugly, ugly,
and
Moses. I'm telling
and
you.
you have
I
and
don't know. I don't know where Liberia going, man. I don't know. You know, you 1 minute you think, oh yeah, yeah, but you come here, you see it again, you just give up.
you
I
get
was
it.
here last March, and I thought it was worse. Now I come in March
You say,
2021,
whoa.
1 year later. It's even worse.
Okay.
It's even worse, Moses.
So then,
And
so
it's
then,
not that we bad mouth in our own country. No, but
yeah, but
many things are not just in place. And we
we
can't
just
sit around and not talk about it.
no, we
Come on
cannot.
now. Why did we vote people into power? Why did
To
we
do the,
appoint people into power,
to
into
do the right
position?
thing, to do the right thing for the
Yes.
country and the people. That's why these people are being paid all these salaries. Now you have a city mayor who should rather be making sure that Monrovia is maintained. But the city mayor spend more time, meddling into other, political issues than rather trying to govern the city. I don't know what is the city police doing. If you have people having garages all over the place, then who is enforcing the city ordinances? Do we have city
That
ordinance?
would be one of the topics for next week. I'm telling you. Garages everywhere, everywhere. Yeah, you got entertainment center. And when the
Yeah,
people bring the old car they can't fix, they ain't got no part, then the car just sit there. And then they don't even have jack truck or to move the cars from there and
yeah,
probably scrap them.
yeah. You
So you
told these
got
people.
garages everywhere.
Mhm.
So next week we'll be talking about the garages.
You know, and
And our mirror bro used to go there and straighten them up.
yeah,
When you got mirror bro,
another good thing that even the city government is they can make a lot of money from is that look, you need to have some tow trucks. If you go to John Brown, where he bring all these junk cars and just throw them all over the place, you tow them, and for every time you tow any of the vehicles, you charging good. Because you're trying to punish this guy, you're trying to discourage a negative behavior. So if you're going to
Mhm.
discourage a negative behavior, then you make sure you take some tougher action. Let them pay some good money to the government. And you see, people will learn the hard way. They say, hey, my man, you cannot park over there. They're going to tow you. Volcano, you and I know it. There are parking meters along the street corner. If you stay longer than needed, what do? They give you a ticket. If you don't pay the ticket, it accumulates what? Interest. When you are unfortunate and that vehicle is stolen, they'll make you pay for all the tickets. So these things can happen in Liberia. We can put in place, system that will hold people accountable. But again, is the political will. Are we willing to do these things? That's our greatest problem.
Yes, Moses. So we will wrap up. We just at the finish line. I'll give you a minute to close us from your end, and then we'll close this thing. But yeah,
Well,
next week
mhm.
talking about some other, bad, and
Okay.
we'll talk about good too about the country. But
Yeah,
let's start with the bad. So many bad going on here that really
okay.
need fixing, and we have to do this. We can't continue to let this country degenerate until it falls to a heel, or knee rather, because it's there. It's getting there. It's
Mhm.
getting there. Coming more.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that whenever we appear here to talk about these issues, we are talking about these issues not because we hate a particular government or individuals. No, we think these are problems that need to be spoken about. These are problems that need solution. And when people work in unison, these problems can be resolved. We want to see Mr. Weah and his CDC succeed. We want to see Liberia become a peaceful and stable society. All we are asking for is what? Let just be what? Regulations. Let there be what? Rule of law. And so I want to say thanks to you, Mr. Shelton, for the opportunity. I know Monrovia is very hard for you. You can't wait to come back.
I'm telling you, I'm trying. Today was extremely hot. I
I
had to
know.
be out. Yeah.
Man, I know the Volcano Shelton that will never appear on LPR, I mean, on Bridge Radio without a business suit. To see you without a suit, I
No, no,
know
I
it's
mean,
hard
I
for
can wear.
you.
I, I would choose to, but
Yeah, but
again, listen,
it's hard for you, my
we in
man.
the jungle right now. We in the jungle.
It's hard for you. Yeah, but I wish you well. I hope everything goes well for you, and I look forward to coming back on Friday so we can discuss another topic or issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I
Mm,
appreciate your, commitment. Thank you.
sure. Uh-huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, listeners, and all of you in Facebook and YouTube land, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Ashford Garley Live Show on British Radio and British TV Africa. All of you wonderful people, Justina Bestman, John Wade, Bulu Howard, Michael Boo, all of you wonderful people. I also want to remember Jack Murch, Justina Bestman, as I said. We say thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back here on Monday by the grace of God. I will be discussing with management. We have to adjust the time because it's about 1:30 here in the U.S. I mean, rather in Liberia, and we probably will adjust the time in the interim to come back at least to 10 p.m. here, which would be 6 in the U.S. Just so that we can be a little bit lively and stay awake because, as I said, it's about 1:30 a.m. So by the time I close my eyes, it will be daybreak. But again, we're doing it for a worthy cause. We're talking about our country. We want to see Liberia make improvements, and the things that we're talking about are the things that matter. Nothing here we're talking about that is not the fact. We have a country where people are not following the rules, people are not doing what they're supposed to do. It's just sad. And we have people we put in power, government officials, their lieutenants to enforce and implement some of the policy and procedures, and they're not doing it. So right now, the whole country just look like a mess. We talked about entertainment centers tonight. Everywhere is a boombox. Everywhere is a drinking spot. Everywhere is people just build wherever they want to. The entertainment is right next to a church, right next to a home, right in the community, next to a school, and so nobody cares, and everybody, the people got to survive. The people got to survive. It doesn't work like that. We need to change this country's image. And if we have to do that, then we have to put into place some of those rules and regulations that we have, and we can't continue to give excuses. We were surviving, right? Weren't we surviving in 1950, in 1960, in 1970, in 1980? Then come the change, and then even we still continue to survive till 1990. So we will survive, but that doesn't give no excuse for people to just do what they want to do. You can't just go about doing just anything. No law, no rules, no regulations. People just do what they want to do. The whole country is in chaos. Everybody just moving about like I can do whatever I want to, and that includes the foreigners. Foreigners come here to do whatever they want to, because our government are holding no one accountable. And it's sad. We can't continue to run our country like this. This is not a gangster paradise. This is a nation of law and order. And so people need to wake up and work to improve the country. And those of you who put in power, those of you who we've elected, those of you who we've appointed to do your job, do your job. Do your job. Bring Liberia back to where it used to be in its pre-war status. We can do this. We're capable. It's just a matter of taking the initiative and being very, very serious about it. And the more we continue to act like we don't care, the rest of the world wouldn't care. And we're just going to be here like one little place, not a country, but one little place somewhere in Africa. That's what we're going to be. One little place somewhere in Africa. Rather than being a nation. A nation. A founding nation of the League of Nations, a founding nation of the United Nations, a founding nation of the African Union. But today we're just a place because we continue to present ourselves that way. So many things going wrong. And people think it's just normal because some people enjoy it. They want to keep the society in chaos. They want to keep the people in degradation, in deprivation, in hardship, in poverty, so that they can continue to look good, so that they can continue to exploit, corrupt, hate the society. Unfortunately, it's not going to last forever. Because some of us who are here tonight talking about these things, we want to see a greater Liberia, a newer Liberia, a Liberia for the people, for the people, by the people, and of the people. So we charge you, those of you in authority, take actions to improve this country. Get it back the way it used to be. Please, we're appealing to you. We're asking you to do your jobs. Do your jobs. We can't continue to be this laughing stock. I keep saying it. Thank you so much for being with us. Volcano Shelton, co-host of the Ashford Garley show here on Bridge Radio, Bridge TV Africa. We'll be back here on Monday by the grace of God. Again, we will try to see if we can adjust the time, maybe 2 hours back, which will be 6 o'clock in the US and 10 o'clock here in Liberia. Until then, I'll talk to you again, and Ashford will be joining us momentarily. In the meantime, just continue to share our link, invite a friend, spread the word. This is the platform for you. We're talking about the things that matter, and we are enlightening you, our people. Thank you so much. Good night. Or good morning, put it that way.